Hello, yes, Naveed, you can begin.
Unfortunately, I cannot see the share option. I don't know why.
Now?
Okay. Yeah, I can see it now. Yeah, I'll share it now.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay. So can you see my screen?
Yes, Naveed, I can see your screen.
Okay, great. So, and I'm audible, right? Clearly?
Yes, yes.
Let me start. Okay. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you.
Okay. Hello, guys. My name is Naveed, and I'm the pre-sales consultant for enterprise security in Redington. And today we'll be talking about Splunk Phantom. So I believe most of you are aware of. I'm assuming most of you are aware of Splunk, what Splunk does, and what is Splunk Enterprise Security. If not, then we will be. I'll be also talking about what Splunk is and what Splunk Enterprise Security does, and what exactly Phantom helps Splunk to do. So, but assuming that you guys are aware, I'll start with the session. So what are we doing in this session? We'll be talking about what is SOAR, okay, so what is why it is used, and what is the criteria of evaluating that you need a SOAR solution, and what Phantom SOAR solution does, and how it can be used for optimizing your security operations. So why SOAR? So first of all, what is SOAR? SOAR stands for Security Orchestration and Automated Response. So as the name says, it is more of automating the security operations to automate and accelerate the process of the security operations, or in short, improve the operational efficiency of your security operations or SOC team. So the challenges that you see nowadays are these. There is a shortage of IT security professionals, mainly in a SOC. It comprises of at least 4 to 5 members, 2 or 3 at layer 1 or tier 1, and then a couple in layer 2 or tier 2, and a SOC manager, right, or an expert. So, but usually most of the SOCs, they are not very mature. They are still in the roadmap of maturing. So they don't sometimes they don't have the proper number of professionals or even the expertise to to build a SOC. So they might be having new guys or new hires and short number of IT security professionals to manage the SOC, and large number of security point solutions. So if you are aware of how SOC works, it is a teamwork, and not just in terms of teamwork at the management level, the human expertise level, but also at the technology level. So there are, on average, around 30 to 40 tools which are integrated in the SOC solution. So there is a solution called SIM, right? SIM integrates or collects the data from 30 to 40 tools, and the team who will manage the SOC should have expertise of analyzing that data, and should have at least an idea of what the different technologies that have been integrated and sending data to the SIM solution does. Okay. And unstructured data. So traditionally, if you see a SIM solution or SOC solution, they would focus only on collecting data from firewall, from IPS, from IDS, from endpoint security solutions. So limited to a couple of data sources, which do limited, which basically gives visibility into only few areas of your organization or security landscape. So that gives you limited visibility and limited response to the threat vectors or threat actors. So investigative approach, yeah. So even now, everyone is uh, looking forward or still adopted to the reactive process of incident response, whereas very few organizations or mature organizations have moved on to the proactive approach of threat hunting. So it depends upon how mature your organization, how mature your technical expertise or technical level of your team is. It depends upon all of that, to become more proactive. So the challenges that you saw above, wherein you don't have enough security professionals, you have a lot number of tools to be integrated. Your solution doesn't support all types of data. They are just only focusing on security data, not security relevant data. So security data is data from security data sources. Security relevant data is all the data in your organization, but looking into that data from the security perspective, okay, from the lens of security analytics. So there is a difference, slight difference here. So when you focus on collecting data from all the data sources and looking into it from a perspective of achieving good security posture, every data source and all the types of data become important to you, unlike the previous approach. And then unstructured data. So all of when you focus on solving these challenges, the investigative approach looks very small to you. You will still be stuck to incident response approach rather than being a more proactive approach of hunting and focusing on building new processes, ingesting or developing new content like threat intel or indicators of compromise. Developing the content is very important for SIM or SOC solution. That improves the operational efficiency of the SOC. So, and then people and processes. So most of the organizations, they don't have even properly documented or processes how a SOC should work. Yeah. So there is a gap between the people and the process. So that's the biggest challenge. Threat mitigation timeline. So if you see, because of these challenges, I would say on an average, the threat, you call the median, the median time of threat detection itself is around something between 2,000 devices to 100 days. Okay? So it takes at least 100 days or 2,000 maximum 2,000 days. There have been cases where it took time to detect an advanced persistent threat, just time to detect. Okay, after that the investigation time would be in couple of weeks or maybe months to and I'm talking about advanced persistent threat, not just any normal virus or file based or fileless attack. A planned attack which is which needs human intelligence, human expertise, which a whole team of attackers sits somewhere remotely, and they plan for months how to attack a government organization or a organization with huge reputation, huge business value, and spoil their reputation or do some kind of reputation harm to them or business harm to them. So such kind of attacks, they stay even undetected for a couple of months. So why SOAR is needed to overcome these challenges, by the way. Okay. So you will see how it does it. So security nerve center, this is what we were talking about. A modern SOC, SIM here. SIM is at the core of the, or other, is it the brain? I would say it's the brain of the SOC or the security nerve center. You have user behavior analytics, you have automation, you have the SOC operational control, wherein you have lots of dashboards and reports showing the different metrics and parameters of your security posture. And then you have the modern SOC also focuses on investigation, monitoring, analyzing, and acting functions, and it follows a big data approach. Okay. Rather than just ingesting security data from firewalls, IPS, and endpoint security, it focuses on all the data sources that are in the organization, be it related to authentication, be it related to access, be it related to inventory, be it related to uh, user directory, everything. Okay. So that's how they gain more visibility into the indicators of compromise or attack vectors, and they reduce the time to response or root cause analysis. And even adding to, so collecting or following the big data approach and collecting all the data from different data sources in your organization and applying machine learning or intelligence to it improves I would say to the criticality or severity at which you detect and prevent the incidents. So Splunk is the platform for machine data. So I would just like to give you a quick background here. Splunk is a platform for machine data, and Splunk Enterprise Security is the is the Gartner Leader SIM from Splunk. So Here at Splunk, we focus on collecting data from any data source in your organization. We follow the big data approach. So you can see the where there is machine data, you can just assume that there is Splunk, which is the platform collecting the machine data from the various data sources on the bottom. It could be Active Directory, cloud, OS, your traditional laptop or servers or desktops, cell phone devices, data centers, security devices, Internet of Things, and even your communication devices like VoIP or video conferencing solutions. And then these are the data sources. What are the data types? Events, logs, metrics like proxy events, Active Directory events, firewall, endpoint, DNS, DHCP, but not just limited to these. And the format of data could be logs or even custom application logs or any kind of custom log that needs to be parsed, that needs to be read, and that needs to be understood. So here most common are storage, web logs, network logs, virtual infrastructure logs, apps, databases, and even metrics like CPU metric, OS metrics, memory, disk, network utilization metrics, etc., etc. So Splunk and Splunk Enterprise Security focuses on, they follow the big data approach. They focus on all the data sources in your organization and all the types of data that it can collect, and gives you a 360-degree visibility into everything that is happening in your organization from a security perspective. So that's the difference between a traditional SOC solution or SIM solution or security operations, whatever you want to call it, and a modern SOC solution or security operations. So yeah, a common security operations challenge now. Previously, we were discussing challenges with the SIM, or mostly the SOC team faces. Now here, these are the common challenges with security operations, not just SIM. So security operations is collectively, people, tools, and processes. So resources, yeah, definitely. If you are following the current trend in the market, there has been a shortage of 1 million security professionals. Yeah, and it is expected to increase by end of 2020 as well. Products, like I said, on an average, there is at least 30 to 40. There are at least 30 to 40 tools which are used in an organization for integrating the data needed for security operations. Alerts. On an average, if you have seen RSA report, on an average, around 1 million alerts are generated in a well-mature SOC. Cost also increase when you try to build a mature SOC, have proper expertise, team members, processes in order. So, and the time to detect, triage, or investigate and respond, is slow. As the scalability or as the size of the SOC team, the size of the organization, the size of the data sources, and the events increase, the speed of detection, mitigation, and response decrease. And static. All of these are human. This actions or these functions are driven by, they're planned and they're driven by humans, SOC team. So there is no independent controls, or there is no orchestration or no automation. So if you are receiving, just imagine 1 million events in one day in a well mature SOC of 20 people, even though it will take good amount of time to filter the events or the incidents based on the criticality, to decide which are layer tier 1 incidents. And even though if it is if it is filtered, there might be thousands of events to work only at tier 1. Then you remove the false positives, and then you decide the criticality, and then start working. So all of these functions, they take a lot of time, and it will also not be efficient if it is completely driven by humans. So in short, the operational efficiency of the security operations decrease because of these challenges. So now you need to think, how can you improve the security of the operational efficiency of your SOC team or your security operations. So the evaluation criteria would be delivering quality, or intelligence over just quantity. So you need to make sure that you focus on developing new correlation rules, new content, adding more threat intel, generating more context to reduce the or to improve the rate at which you detect, the accuracy at which you detect the incidents, and the time that you take to reduce to investigate the incident, that should be reduced. So improving the efficiency and efficacy of operations. This will lead to the efficiency. So proper utilization of the SOC team, proper utilization of the SIM, and reducing the time to investigate and mitigate and remediate, enhancing the incident response, improving the reporting and knowledge capture. Yeah. So these should be the evaluation criteria of why you should go for a SOAR. So a traditional SIM or traditional SOC will still be struggling with their SIM challenges and SOC operations challenges or security operations challenges. But you need to identify these challenges, categorize them into these criteria, and make sure that you are overcoming those and becoming more proactive. So that's where Splunk Phantom comes. Oh, sorry for the typo. Um, so how Phantom solves security operations problems. Here, in a nutshell, you can see, it acts as a force multiplier for your team. So limited resources. So if you know security orchestration automated response is is like a solution dedicated for integrating or coordinating between your SIM and your peripheral solutions like firewalls, security solutions like firewalls, sandboxes, IPS, endpoint security, what was email gateway, threat intel, etc., etc. All the tools that you ingest data from and you send actions to. All of these data sources, SOAR should be able to coordinate, integrate, and take data and give actions programmatically. So here when you have limited resources, you have less people to look into the incidents. The bulky incidents, the repetitive incidents at the tier one, these incidents can be taken care by the SOAR solution. So they will classify in the different types of incidents. For example, phishing email incident, a ransomware incident, Trojan incident, an advanced persistent threat, etc., etc. So there can be, so it will classify the different incidents, and it will know what are the data sources that it has that the SIM has integrated with, and what all data sources it can take action. So this way, if it will offload the tasks of incident response from the SOC team to itself. Too many of alerts, so you don't have to, not every uh, analyst has to work on every incident here. So they can basically decide what kind of incidents can be taken care by Splunk Phantom as a SOAR solution in an automatic or automated fashion. So for example, phishing, all the phishing kind of incidents, phishing incidents, which are mostly 80% of the incidents that you see in the SOC. 80% are phishing email based attacks. So these can be taken care by Phantom in an automated way or in a programmatic fashion. So these, most of the tasks or this bulky and repetitive task will be taken care by source solution. We'll be seeing how it does, but this is just how at a high level Phantom solves your challenges. Uh, Too many siloed products, yeah, definitely. So if an analyst has to take action, he has to find out what kind of action he has to take. He needs to first of all build an integration between that peripheral solution and SIM solution, and then he has to maybe write a script to integrate both of them and take action. All of these manual tasks can be taken care again. These are different silos that you call. SIM is a different silo, firewall is a different silo, and point security is a different silo, etc., etc. So integrating these siloed products can be easily done by Phantom. Lack of process, Phantom provides you Splunk Enterprise Security, which is the same, as well as Phantom, which is a SOAR, provides you with different workbenches, dashboards, and reports to organize your security operations into proper process. Speed, definitely. We have seen in our labs as well as our customers, they have come back with their feedback, and there has been exponential decrease in the time to resolution or mean time to resolution, which we call, from minutes to even seconds. And costs, definitely, when you're reducing the resources and you're automating stuff, you definitely take less time and save cost rather than and improve the operational efficiency rather than adding to more opex and capex. So SOAR for security operations. So this is how it does. We talked a lot. It's time to see now. So faster execution through the loop yields better security. So this is ODA model, mainly used by US defense. So observe, orient, decision making, and acting. So when you say observe, you can see it is collecting data from all the point products like firewall, IDS, IPS, endpoint, WAF, advanced malware protection, or AMP, forensics, and malware or sandboxing. Yeah? So orient is analyzing the different data or categorizing the different data sources, and using it as a tool or as a platform for analytics. So it could be SIM, it could be threat intel, or it could be any kind of big data source, etc. And then the SOC team works on the platform at whatever level they are, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, investigates, acts, analyzes, act, investigate, analyze, and take action. All of these tasks are done manually. Yeah, and then so without SOAR, it is still automated partially, but and partially manually. So if you see, acting is manual tasks. Whatever actions you have to take, for example, creating a firewall rule, or or changing the action of a firewall rule from allow to block, adding a signature in IPS, creating a policy in endpoint, or blocking a vulnerability in WAF, etc., etc. All of these are manual tasks. So if you know, SIM is for visibility mainly, or SOC operations is passive security. So with SOAR, it becomes partially automated, or fully automated, I would say, and actionable. So these tasks which are manual, with Phantom it becomes automated. So Phantom architecture, if you see here, let me quickly bring up everything. So it has called there's something called platform services and also microservices. So if you see here on the left side, the microservices, there is ingest daemon, there is action daemon, there is decide daemon, workflow, and watchdog. So each and every service has different functions. So uh, you know these microservices are mainly responsible for integrating with the data sources and peripheral devices, and receive the data and take the action. Okay? So ingest daemon is, as the name suggests, it is for event ingestion. Action daemon is for app execution, or take action programmatically based upon API or SDK, or through apps. Decide daemon is to analyze, so basically orchestrating and decision making. So orchestrating, as in it will basically coordinate with the different devices. Integration happens at this decide D with help of this decide D service. Workflow service, so wherein you can write playbooks, which is nothing but rules that are that are written for different types of incidents. For example, phishing email incident, you have a set of rules which is documented as a playbook, and alerting notifications is a part of that playbook. Watchdog is a service which which will monitor the health of the Phantom deployment itself. So making sure that all the components and all the services are working fine, all the resources are allotted, which are allotted are appropriate. So data sources and assets, which is nothing but data collection and action, points. They coordinate with, or they interact with Phantom microservices with app, okay, using apps. And Phantom uses Python language to program or to automate the or program the actions and data ingestion. So on the other side, this is the Phantom functions, whereas on the right side you can see platform services, wherein the Phantom admin can interact with Phantom using user interface, which is a web GUI, yeah, or if you want to integrate Phantom with another machine, you can use REST API. So an analyst can interact with Phantom platform, as well as a machine can interact with Phantom platform. So you have different frameworks, web framework and React middleware framework, Nginx web server, Postgres database, and Splunk platform, or the same platform which is which is the core of Splunk, where you install Splunk Enterprise Security, is again used with Phantom. So moving on, Phantom workflow, like we discussed, SIM, it ingests Splunk Enterprise Security collects all security relevant data, including incidents or vulnerabilities, intelligence feeds, and then the incidents are being analyzed by the analysts, and then when they do the incident response, so it is manual. It was manually before, but with the help of playbooks, that can be automated. So once the incidents are detected, playbooks run and they identify the type of incident and the type of action that should be taken. So it could be incident response plans, or for example patch deployment, etc., etc. So the actions would be based upon the playbook and the type of incident. Actions would be like restore endpoint, or isolate an endpoint, quarantine an endpoint, and run scripts to investigate or collect forensics data, and format the machine, block IP, query file reputation, etc., etc. And this is done using apps. So apps are nothing but API based plugins which interact with which help interact from Phantom with the peripheral devices like firewalls, with IPS, IDS, web servers, etc. And assets are the actual data and the point devices. They can act as data sources, as well as they can act as action points, which are in general called assets. So the firewall will also give data to SIM, and after analyzing, the SIM and SOAR will also take action on using the firewall. Yeah. So in case of phishing email, if a phishing email is detected, the action can be blocking that domain on the firewall and blocking that user in the directory server, or disabling that user in the directory services, and creating an alert on the SIM. So owners would be AD admin, firewall admin, SIM admin. So like I said, SOC is a teamwork. So you can provide access to the SOC solution, or access to the SOC solution for different admins. AD admin can also look into the Phantom platform, or the whole SOC solution, and add more content, or add few more actions, or change the actions, etc., etc., as per the need. So these are the six, I would say, six core outputs of core solution: automation, orchestration, collaboration, event management, case management, and report metrics. So SOAR, basically, it integrates your teams, processes, and tools together. So definitely everyone, if they are aware of SOCs, what is a SOC, what is a SIM, what is security operations, their knowledge is good, and but still limited to SIM solution, or what a SIM does, or how do you investigate, how do you do incident response. But they're still new to SOAR. SOAR, basically, it integrates teams, processes, and tools together. It helps you work smarter by automating the repetitive tasks, and that is the main thing. Not even SIM can do that, or SOC, any other SOC solution can do that. It makes you work smarter by automating the repetitive tasks. So if you are receiving 1,000 incidents daily, out of which 500 are phishing email incidents, and not so it becomes a headache, or a load on tier one analysts to work on these 500 incidents. So if there are three analysts, 500 divided by three would be at least the task, at least the daily and usual task for these analysts to do. Apart from that, they will have to work on the other incidents as well. So it is not an intelligent approach, or it's not an efficient approach. So they are just spending most of their time, 80% of their time, doing the same tasks, which is investigating the phishing emails, which they are doing daily, and it's a repetitive task. They are not learning anything new. They are not developing anything new on their software. Yeah, it's basically not an efficient way. So these tasks, which can be automated, can be offloaded to SOAR solution, and the analyst can focus on mission critical tasks. They can respond. So as a result, they can respond faster, and reduce the dwell times with automated detection, investigation, and response. Because now the tasks which were manual are automated with the help of SOAR solution, and SOAR will work at machine speeds and in a programmatic fashion and in a in a well-defined fashion to automate and to increase the or faster, make the process faster of incident investigation and response. So strengthen defenses by integrating existing security infrastructure together so that each part is an active participant. So you can also add more and more because so it is flexible solution and it supports Python and it also basically supports script-based integration, so it can be programmed or customized for the integrations. Now, so typical use cases, yeah. So mostly everyone thinks that a SIM solution or SOC solution is only for technical analysts or experts, but it's not just that. With the help of SOAR solution, you can also give your management access to the security operations. Uh, you know, I would say operations efficiency or monitoring, basically. So how basically they can identify how is a security their SOC team is performing, their SOC deployment is how good it is returning value to them. So it's not just operations; it's also for management. So tier one analyst, tier two analyst, or tier three analyst, all of them can use SOAR solution and for phishing investigation, for integrating threat intel, adding threat intel, or looking into the indicators of compromise provided by the threat intel, investigating the events, doing being more proactive by threat hunting, malware investigation, and insider threat investigation. Whereas management, who are like CISO or SOC manager, they can look into the team performance. So there are dashboards and reports and workbenches that can help operations team as well as management team to to look into their key performance. So team performance, processes and operations, metrics and reporting. So the management can focus on how well each and every member of the team is doing. How are the processes documented? If they are not, then they will document the process and they will monitor if the process is being followed, and they will also generate metrics of operational efficiency and reporting. So automation, looking into each pillar separately. Automation in simple words is automating the repetitive tasks to to basically offload the tasks of the repetitive tasks of the analyst at machine speeds. So executing the automated actions in seconds rather than hours, and making more accurate decisions, or more intelligent decisions rather than just depending on human intelligence. It can also depend on uh, you know threat intel and many other technologies to make a decision. Orchestration, yeah. So as SOAR is a next generation solution, it is unlike traditional solutions. It has got a good number of integrations. So complex integrations are also made available readily out of the box with 250 plus apps on the on the Phantom marketplace, and it's also growing. So these are readily available apps that you just have to install, and it will integrate easily. And apart from that, there is for API based integrations, there is 1100 plus integrations. Collaboration, like I said, it provides you with workbenches, dashboards, and reports for the whole SOC team to work together. So this is basically a screenshot of how the different analysts in the team can chat with each other, talk about the actions, or they talk suggest about the different actions that they should do as part of incident response for each incident, and take actions. So communicate without losing context of the mission, share interesting items with your team, and collaborate together. So it basically collaboration means starting a simple chat to sharing the progress, or sharing via a link, and and suggesting actions, suggesting or and discussing the actions that you should take. So event management, you can, so each event They have it has a dashboard for event management where you can see the high level of what number of incidents are there based upon the severity, status, and owner and the category of the event. And it basically acts as a help desk or a ticketing solution for your security incidents, where you can, when any analyst can own the incident as a ticket and start working on it, change the status of that ticket, and it's actually an incident, but it's working as a ticket workflow. So, and eliminating the noise of your workload and following a proper process of escalation and eventually remediation of the case management. So case management is again event management, but it has got when it becomes a case, it becomes it becomes a more critical task for the software. Yeah. So the only difference between event and case is a case can be event can be worked as a ticket, but case can be worked as an escalation, and you can have multiple playbooks run on it, take automated actions, etc., etc. So reporting and metrics, like I said, SOAR can not just only be used by operations team; it can also be used by management team. So it has got dashboards and reports that will help both the teams achieve their KRA. So moving on, yeah. So people who are not aware of Splunk at all, this is the Splunk product portfolio when it comes to security. So Splunk Enterprise, Splunk Enterprise Security, and Splunk Phantom. So as I said, Splunk is a platform for machine data at the core. So, the core function is machine data analytics. So it is available as a on-premise solution using Splunk Enterprise software, or also as a cloud solution using Splunk Cloud. Okay. And when it comes to security analytics, you have Splunk Security Essentials. So which is a which is an app which can be installed on Splunk Enterprise, and it can help you with uh, achieving use cases, or or using Splunk Enterprise itself as a SIM, using the content or use cases of the Security Essentials app. Whereas Splunk Enterprise Security is a Gartner leader SIM, which is well developed after a lot of years of research and development and investment, and full support is provided by Splunk when it comes to Splunk Enterprise Security. And Splunk UBA is again, a part of security operations portfolio, whereas Splunk UBA covers the user and entity behavior analytics, quadrant of Gartner, wherein it focuses on insider threat, fraud detection, and malicious and anomalous and suspicious behavior of the employees, internal employees. So focused mainly on insider threat, and then operations, yeah, Phantom and Splunk Enterprise Security. So combined together with UBA, it forms your security analytics or security operations suite. So I would say when you want a fully mature SOC, you should start with Splunk Enterprise and Splunk Enterprise Security as the SIM solution, and then slowly add UBA, Splunk User Behavior Analytics, to get also visibility of the insider threats, and then automate the functions using Splunk Phantom. This combined together becomes the Splunk Security Operations Suite. The key differentiators when it comes to SOAR. Now, most of you, if you have customers who are not even aware of what they want, they are not, they have just started as a SOC. They have just, built their SOC, or they're planning to build their own SOC. Or there are different types of customers. Some are, even mature SOCs, and they want to improve the efficiency of the SOC operations. So, and they are looking out for solutions how to do that. So these are different maturity levels of organizations with SOC solutions, and which are the best customers for, or best organizations for adopting SOAR solutions. So there are different levels, 5 levels mainly: initial, repeatable, defined, automated, and optimizing. So you can see initial, or the basic level of organization which has just adopted SOC, has no documentation, no security operating procedures, no procedures at all, no documentation, no case management, no digital playbook automation. So if such customers you go and talk about adopting SOAR, it would be like really Chinese for them. So it's not a good idea to talk about SOAR adoption for initial level customers. Repeatable, so they have some documentations, some procedures in place, some case management ideas, but no automation at all. So yeah, they are they are good, but they are not good enough. Then there is defined, so which is the defined are the ones which are ideal, I would say, for adopting SOAR. They have full documentation and full process or procedures in place, full case management, but only thing that they are lacking is playbook automation. So these are the ideal ones for adopting SOAR because they know what is SOC, they know how SOC team works, they know what how to ingest it, just what is instant response, what average time is taken or when you investigate. So they know the value of automation, how to reduce the time to detect and resolve and improve your question. Whereas 4 and 5 are they are I would say they they are basically customers which defined ones are ideal, but convincing them to adopt to SOAR would be difficult. But whereas automated and optimizing, they are advanced than defined, and I would say they are easier to convince to go for automation. So automated are they are defined, but with some digital playbook automation already implemented. So as a part of SOAR adoption, they have already adopted SOAR. You can only try to help them by enhancing their automation. And optimizing is again they are the most mature, and you just need to maybe maintain relationships with them or help them in any possible way because they're already well mature and optimized, and they would not need your assistance, just your just an idea that you are there to support them. So who is Phantom? uh, so you can, basically Phantom can help various sectors or verticals of the organization like financial services, technology, transportation, telecommunication, manufacturing, healthcare, government, etc. So for, I would say well-reputed organizations are Phantom customers, and they are also not just reputed; they are also financially strong. So Phantom competitive strength, automation and orchestration first. Yeah, so the Phantom has at the core it does automation and orchestration very easily, and it has been in the market. So if you know Phantom was a standalone solution, third party solution before Splunk had acquired it. Splunk has acquired it in 2018, I believe. Yeah, and so they before acquiring they already had their own community, their own marketplace, everything. It was, a very known product, and it has been there for around 20 years, I believe. Splunk only acquired it and added it as a under their own umbrella. So the community focus, the enterprise architecture remains the same with the support from Splunk. So the depth and breadth of integrations. Yeah, so Phantom has like we saw apps and API based integrations, leading the source and standardization process. So it is already a leader in SOAR Phantom automation quadrant from Gartner. It has got 4,000 plus members in the community. So community website where you can post questions, get answers, search for knowledge articles, etc. They have around 4,000 members. The marketplace has 250 apps by the which are contributed by the vendors, by Splunk, by Phantom, by community partners and customers. Largely successful in production, so customer base, enterprise solution, open architecture, and easy to use and extend, basically flexible. So that was it. And if you have any question and answer, please let me know. So if you have any questions, do email me, and I would be happy to revert. Thank you.